Okay, so now we have our cup and our gumballs, and what we'd like to do is add a camera, add some lights, and render. Now it is possible to do that traditionally in Houdini at the object level, but recently Houdini added a new context called Solaris with our new renderer Karma, and that workflow is the one we're going to use here today. So what that means is that we're going to start by setting a different desktop. Let's go to the Solaris desktop. It's got a slightly different look. We'll talk about these panes in a moment. The view, let's go spacebar D. Now instead of going dark gray, we're going to go dark, completely dark with this one. Let's turn off the grid. We don't really need that. Now in here is something called the scene graph, and as we start to add nodes here, you'll see the scene graph start to build up, and that is what actually the renderer will use to render the shot. So we're going to go Tab, Scene, Import, Enter, and place that node down. Now we want the destination up here to be /geo, and we want to bring objects in, so we're going to click on here and we're going to go Cup, Accept Pattern. And what you'll see is down in the scene graph there's now a geo, and under geo is the cup that we just imported in. So that's how we get something over from the object level here into Solaris context. Now we'd also like to add a ground surface. So we're going to go Tab, Grid, and we're going to place that down. And we want this also to be /geo /os. And you'll see currently it says Grid 1. Let's change the name of that to Ground, and that becomes its name in there. Now this isn't exactly what we need. Let's set the display flag on this. So what we're going to do is double click into here. We're going to change that to 100, 100. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click on the output here, and we're going to go UV Project. And what that does, there we go, is it sets up this. Now what we want to do is we're going to go to here and go Initialize, and Transformation, we're going to use a V range of minus, and that will flip it so we see the numbers and the letters go in the right direction. So there we've got that. We go up to the stage. Now if we go spacebar H, you'll see we've got this big grid. But this, which is the cup, that is not working. So what we need to do is we need to put a merge node down, and we can feed this and this together, and now we can display the two of them at the same time. Now if we want to get close to the cup, we're going to select it. Let's select the cup here and go spacebar G, and there we go. So now we're looking more at the cup. So let's just change the name of that to Geo Merge, and that's just, its main purpose is to bring things together. We could have actually fed the ground into the scene import and sort of lined them up like that. We would have got the same result, but for now we're going to use this merging technique. And let's just to help with this, we're going to change the name of this to Cup Geo. That will allow us to find it easier later. So we want to add some material qualities to this, so we're going to go and go Quick, start typing out Quick and get Quick Surface Material and place that down. We're going to call this Cup _matte, and that will be the cup material. And then we're going to Alt click and create another one called the Ground Matte. And we're going to feed that one into there. So like I said, we can do that if we want. And we're going to change the color of the ground mat to a gray. Now these are not part of, if you select this, then these are part of the graph, because the graph always updates based on what you're selecting here. So we go back to the geo, they're not part of it. So we need to merge them in again. But just to keep it simple, we're going to go to Map, Merge, and we feed that into there. And now you'll see in the scene graph we've got materials and the geometry all in there together. Now, what we haven't done yet, though, is we haven't assigned the materials. So the next node for doing that is something called a material linker. So just type linker. There's a light linker. Go down to the material linker. Put that down. Select that and set the display flag. Now in this little widget, the way we assign this is we open it up and we say, okay, I want the cup material, and it's going to have some rules. We're going to open up this, open up geo, and the cup is going to get assigned that material. Similarly, the ground, we're going to drag that over, and we're going to take the ground and drag that over. There we go, that went dark gray. Okay, let's get a good look at the cup. And we've got it looking the way we want it. Let's click on the camera tool right up here, and that gives us a view. Now it changed it a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to lock the view, and then we're going to use the view tools to get in there. When you've got the look that you want, turn that lock off because you don't want to accidentally change the camera angle. But anyways, that's our current camera angle. Now if we were to tumble with the lock off, we'd lose the camera, but then when we go there, we'll get that angle back. So it's better, it's safer not to have that on. Okay, so now let's add a point light into the scene. Now currently it's there. Let's add an intensity of 10 just so we can see things a little bit better. And let's go back to our looking through the camera. So right now the light is looking directly the same way as the camera. But what we want to do is we want to go Shift F, which turns on a placement mode called shadow mode. And what we're going to do is we're going to click here, and then we're going to press the Shift key and we're going to click down here. And you see how the light now moves based on that position. And if we want to go a little further back, okay, we do that. Now, to get some more intensity, we can control drag to move the light closer or further away, which does affect the intensity. Control Shift will only affect the intensity, and you might go into here and say 800, or maybe 1,000. There, that gets the light that we're looking for. So let's do that again. Pick another point light. Does the same thing. Goes to there. What we're going to do this time is again use the shadow mode, but we're going to go from here and we're going to go Shift there, and maybe go 100. Nope, maybe that's too much. 50. 30. There we go. Now we've got two lights casting nice shadows. Okay, that's giving us what we want. So far we've been looking at this in the viewport mode, and like I said, we can have you can either have it without shadows, with shadows. You got a whole bunch of different options there. What we'd like to do is actually start rendering it. And the render is available right here, and we can change this to Karma XPU. And that will go through and render out the shot. We can also, if we want to make that a little quicker, we can turn on a denoiser here, and that will take away the noise a little bit quicker. Let's go to the select tool so we don't see that, and there we go. So we've got our rendering of the scene. And if we want to just see it from a different angle, you'll see as we tumble around, the XPU is fast enough that we're seeing that update fairly quickly as we go around. And we can go back to the camera. So very nice to have that render so quick and interactive, helps make creative decisions. There we go. We've introduced you to the new context, which is Solaris, or LOPS for lighting operators. We brought in geometry. We've created some geometry right here. We've merged them together, added in materials. These materials are actually Material X stored as USD. So they're all very efficient, and they allow you to add textures and set up material qualities. There's a merging nodes to bring it together, a linker to link the materials to the geometry, and then some cameras and some lights to get the shot ready.